Tribunal judges confess. Makes shocking U-turn. We found Shettima guilty. This is what we did. Breaking news. Hello, people. Welcome back once again to this particular YouTube channel. During the beginning of this particular court session, during the final judgment of the petitioners and of the petition of the petitioners, when I observed that Wole Olanipekun, who is Tinubu's lead lawyer, and APC's lawyer and Inec's lawyer were intentionally absent from the courtroom, which is today being the final judgment day, it goes a long way to tell you that there is something fishy that has already happened, because they've seen the final judgment that was actually read today. Because what happened today was that they bastardized and destroyed and matched and stamped upon our constitution, just to validate the election of somebody that is not even illegal, is not even qualified to vie for the presidential position. It is quite pathetic that the tribunal judges had to confess and make a U-turn before about 200 million Nigerians that we are watching this court proceedings. It is quite pathetic. I'm going to show you what happened. They intentionally stated it. When people want to bastardize our constitution, they will tell it to our front that this particular person is this, but they are not going to do this because they want to favor somebody that gave them about how many billions of naira and all that. When obedience was saying all eyes on the judiciary, it's not like we wanted to intimidate the judiciary, no. But because we knew that what happened today is what probably might happen. Because we knew that particular man that is temporarily sitting on this presidential position in Aso Rock is capable of using money to buy over. They removed fuel subsidy to use the money from the subsidy to settle these particular people and settle a whole lot of people. And that is practically what they did today. Well, before we dive into the cross of the matter, where I told you that these tribunal judges had to confess and make a U-turn, despite finding Shettima guilty of an offense. And look at the judgment they give. It is very pathetic. One of the judgment and one of the cases that P2B and Atiku Abubakar is actually contending is about Shettima's double nomination. Now, people should know outrightly, if you follow that particular case, people should know outrightly that in the judgment that was given by Justice Samani, he actually found Shettima guilty. He said that, as a matter of fact, after all the facts were established, after the dates were given to him, that Shettima himself was the senatorial candidate of Borno district. Why he allowed himself to be nominated by Bola Tinubu, who nominated him while he was still holding the candidature of the senatorial district in Borno. Now, instead of this, the Election Petition Tribunal to address the matter and the merits of the matter the way it is, that this particular person was nominated, they accepted and they said yes, that as a matter of fact, that Shettima was guilty, that he was actually nominated for two positions, which is against the Electoral Act as amended in 2022. They accepted that he violated, or the act of nominating Shettima in itself, violated that particular electoral act. But look at the soft landing they gave, which is where the money or the bribe or the corruption comes in, the money that they gave to this particular judiciary to do. Before millions of Nigerians that we are viewing this particular program live, Justice Samani had the effrontery to tell Nigerians that since that it wasn't the intention of Shettima, Justice Samani and the co-judges there never denied that Shettima had double nomination. Now, what they are saying is that Shettima, it wasn't his intention for him to be nominated, that the person that made the mistake was Bola Tinubu for nominating Shettima. How does that really make sense? That somebody violated something. When Tinubu, as a matter of fact, nominated Shettima, since Justice Samani, as a matter of fact, claimed that Shettima, was not aware of the nomination, that he never knew about the nomination. He knew when Shettima now realized that he was nominated by Tinubu as his running mate. Meanwhile, he knew that he was the senatorial candidate of Borno district. Why didn't he give me a disclaimer saying that the nomination of Tinubu for now is pending? Probably he is rejecting it for the purpose that he is having a nomination as the senatorial candidate for Borno district. Shettima never gave a disclaimer to this. He accepted it, and this is what the constitution says, that any candidate that knowingly allows himself to be nominated for two political positions in this country shall not be qualified for any of the positions. The person must, as a matter of fact, be disqualified. Now, the tribunal is saying that, as a matter of fact, that Shettima didn't knowingly allow himself to be nominated, but he heard the news. He celebrated even when Tinubu nominated him. He read the news because the news went all over the internet space. It was read online. It was mentioned everywhere. He read it, he saw it, and he never put out a disclaimer to prove that he never knowingly allowed himself. Meanwhile, that means he knowingly allowed himself to be nominated. And now Justice Samani is telling Nigerians that as a matter of fact, that even though that Tinubu committed, that the crime was committed, that the electoral act was breached, that the constitution of Nigeria was breached, that there was double nomination, but we cannot blame Shettima for it. So if you don't blame Shettima, who are we going to blame? Who are we going to blame? A man who knew when he was nominated and never gave a disclaimer to say no or reject the nomination means he knowingly allowed himself to be nominated. This is the judgment that this particular Supreme Court, Election Petition Tribunal passed concerning the double nomination. When I told you guys that these people just buried and made a U-turn after finding that it was a double nomination, they now made a U-turn and told Nigerians that Shettima never knew, that we should forgive Shettima, that it wasn't Shettima's intention to be nominated twice. We don't care. The most important thing is, did he or did he not, was he or was he not nominated into the political position within the country? He was, and he should be disqualified. Now they found, or they got a soft landing for him. They got a soft landing for him. It is quite pathetic that this particular election petition tribunal judges, after answering all the SANS and after all the court sections and after all the academic processes they passed through, could not even uphold our constitution. Rather, they went ahead to tarnish, to destroy, and to stamp upon our constitution. How could you use emotions to judge? How could you use your emotions to give a judgment when it is clearly stipulated in the electoral act and constitution that if anybody knowingly allows himself to be nominated twice, the person will not is imminently disqualified. Shettima heard when he was nominated, he never gave a disclaimer, he never rejected it. Now the Supreme Court is trying to tell the Election Petition Tribunal judges is now trying to tell us that after searching the conscience of Shettima, that they found that he never, it wasn't his intention, as a matter of fact, to be nominated twice. Meanwhile, he never gave out a disclaimer or a rejection. Well, the whole world has seen the precedent these people have set. Our children and unborn children will actually see this judgment and start laughing at us, and they will use it further for any future references. Well, I would like you guys to drop your comments in the comment section and tell me what you think about this recent development.